What's up, family? It's your boy Dr. J. Don't go astray, because I got a little something to say. This is a tough one today. A few years ago, I was minding my own business, heading to present at an education conference in the Midwest, and I noticed a police officer in the median of the interstate. And then I noticed what many men and boys who look like me fear the most. I noticed that the police officer pulled behind me and followed me for about 10 to 12 miles. Now, I was in a rental car, a small sedan, nothing fancy, nothing to even be any level of suspicious. So he followed me for 10 to 15 minutes, and all sorts of emotions inside of me was raging and bubbling over. I'm talking anger, fear, distress, confusion, many mixed emotions. So after about 10 to 15 minutes, he finally pulled me over, and my internal distress mounted. And my personality type, I tend to shut down. So he pulled me over, and I did what I try to advise and ask my own boys and other boys and men to do. I put two hands on the steering wheel, I turned my music off, I raised the window down, and I waited until he came to the window. He didn't come on the driver's side. He came on the passenger side. And I had my wallet down there and in the floor and money and snacks or whatever. It was a long trip. I love to drive. I was on my, 13, 14 hour at this point. So he asked for, my license and registration, and I politely and slowly and calmly said, "Sir, my wallet is in the floor, and would you like for me to get my wallet?" And he said, "Yes." So I very, very slowly, because the internal distress was off the chain at this point, I very slowly grabbed my wallet. And then as I was grabbing my wallet, he said, "You know what? Let's meet in my car." Internal distress increased at this point. My mind was all over the place. I asked him, did he want me to grab my wallet? He said yes. So I grabbed my wallet. As I entered the back of the vehicle, I had this same sweatshirt on. And he pulled on my shirt and said, "Sir, you don't have anything in the car or anything on you that I should be worried about." I said, "Sir, I'm good. I'm actually on my way to an education conference, and I plan to speak at the conference." So when I got in his car, he did it again. He tugged on my shirt and asked me again, "Now, you sure, sir, you don't have anything in the trunk, anything in the back seat, or anything on you that I should be concerned about?" I said, "No, sir, I'm good." So he asked for my license, and he asked for, my insurance card. So it seemed like this was 25, 30 minutes. It was probably 5 to 6 to 7 minutes. He was checking things out, typing my information in the computer. Then he asked me again as he was waiting for the computer to obtain the information. "Now, sir, are you sure, absolutely sure, I don't have anything to worry about?" At this point, internally, my distress is off the chain, and I'm thinking, he is really taunting me and trying to get me to make a move or do something that would cause escalation. I was completely shut down, shook, fearful, distressed, and another 5 minutes went by, and he just said, I stopped you because, it's dangerous out here, and it's a lot of trucks out here, and I was concerned for your safety." The next 3 seconds was the most fearful I became of this experience, because he looked at me as if, you know, and I know why I really stopped you. And you know, and I know what just happened here. And you know, and I know what I'm really trying to do. And I dare you. It was a look of just trying to attempt that last shot to taunt me for a reaction. So he gave me my license and insurance card and said, "Have a good day, sir." He knew what he was doing. He knew that he racially profiled me. It was that day because the next hour, I was completely quiet. I didn't call anyone. In my field, we call it disassociating. I clearly disassociated from the experience. I was still in a level of shock and distress and disassociation. I wasn't even really there, trying to protect myself. My body, my brain went into automatic disassociation. It was a feeling that I'll never forget. I never experienced it. But it was that day that I realized. Because when he looked at me and said, "You're free to go, sir. Have a wonderful day." All I could think about, all those boys and men that looked like me, and the fear and the experiences and the police brutality and the police murders and all the very unfortunate, sad stories that I have heard up to this point. But it wasn't until this time that I realized he may have sent me off saying, "You're free, sir. You're free to go." But all I could think about, all of those boys and men. We may be free to go if we're lucky and fortunate to get out of that situation. We may be free to go, but we're far from being free. And this was the experience that propelled me, encouraged me to do something meaningful. I cannot tell you what to do, how to feel, what to think from this experience. But for me, it gave me the encouragement for the first time to do something actively, intentionally, about diversity, about inclusion, and about equity. And not hide behind it, but be in the front lines with so many others. Because I clearly realize we may be free to go, but we're far from being free. Thank you for listening.